We start off tonight with a weather impact alert as we take a live look out over the Rose City this evening. Sweltering heat is set to move in, bringing with it the chance for some record-breaking temperatures. Thanks so much for joining us tonight at 11. I'm John Adams. Let's head right on over to meteorologist Joe Ranieri. So Joe, just how hot are we talking here?
Hot. We're going to be looking at highs in the mid 90s the next couple of days. Mid to the upper 90s is basically what I should be telling you, because earlier this afternoon we topped out at 91 degrees, well above average for this time of year when we should be seeing highs about 74 degrees or so. Yeah, we're going to continue to see our temperatures climb over the next couple of days. Even along the Oregon coast, you saw temperatures in Astoria at 81. In fact, that's a record. The old record was set back in 1917 at 78 degrees. And Tillamook, you saw a temperature of 84 degrees. Now, we are going to be under that heat advisory where you see the orange color, but where this red color is, that is an excessive or extreme heat warning that will be taking effect tomorrow morning and stays in effect until late Tuesday. Although the 2 days that are going to be really hot are going to be tomorrow and into Monday. Both days could be looking at temperatures very close to that 100-degree mark, but I think we'll start to see the temperatures back off just a little bit. Regardless, record-breaking heat is on the way. Along with the hot temperatures we're tracking, there's also going to be the high fire danger because of the heat, low humidity, and the east wind. Now, this is all over with by the middle part of next week. I'll talk more about that in just a few minutes.
All right, Joe, thanks so much. We'll see you soon. Well, most people know to drink water when it's hot outside, of course, but health experts say there are some lesser known heat risks that can catch people off guard. Some of the people at the highest risk include older adults, young children, pregnant women, and people with chronic health conditions. Some medications can also make it harder for the body to cool itself off. Officials say don't wait until you're thirsty to drink water. The Red Cross recommends drinking about a cup of water every 20 minutes when you're out in the heat. And if you're spending time outside, sunscreen isn't just about avoiding a sunburn. One OHSU doctor told KGW the effects of sun damage may not show up for decades as they deal with surprisingly high rates of skin cancer here in the state.
The sun is a type of radiation. So with any damage from radiation, that damage doesn't show up as cancer until like 20, 30 years later. So a lot of times the sunburns that you're getting as a kid may show up as potential skin cancers when you're 40, 50, 60, 70 years old. And that's kind of what people, don't immediately realize.
Experts say heat illnesses can sneak up on people faster than they expect, which is why they recommend preparing before you feel the effects of the heat. Donations from the community are helping Blanchet House in Portland's Old Town keep our homeless population cool during this heat wave. The nonprofit is collecting new and gently used water bottles to sanitize, fill, and hand out to those in need at its Northwest Gleason Street location. Blanchet House provides basic relief for folks looking for food, water, and support services.
Many people that come to Blanchet House are, new to homelessness or have experienced a crisis where they have nothing, aren't getting the news, aren't hearing weather updates, don't have a phone, so they might be caught out in the hot sun unexpected, become dehydrated, which can cause, heat-related illnesses.
Along with water bottles, Blanchet House is also handing out fans, sunblock, sunglasses, and sack lunches from the community. If you want to help donate, you can read up on what they need on their website, blanchethouse.org. Then drop off the donations at their Old Town location, which is at 310 Northwest Gleason Street, every morning of the week except for Sunday from 8 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. or in the afternoons Monday through Saturday, 1:30 to 4 p.m. We'll stay with KGW for continuing coverage of our weather impact alert, however long the heat hangs around. Remember, you can get updated forecasts anytime on KGW.com and our KGW app. Portland City Councilors want to hear from you about plans to spend more than $100 million on renovating the Moda Center. That's how much the city is responsible for as part of a more than $500 million project. Jay Coulter went to a couple pop-ups across town today where residents could talk directly to councilors.
4 of these pop-up tents were up around Portland on Saturday where councilors could have one-on-one conversations with residents to hear their questions and concerns about the Moda Center renovation.
You get the team here, or you want the team go to Raleigh?
At Lentz Park Saturday morning, Portland City Councilors heard from residents directly as they mull over a deal to renovate the Moda Center that would cost the city $120 million.
I think it's worth investing in, even for non-sports fans, because it's a cultural touch point, it's a cultural intersection, and brings people together, whether it's the Fire, the Blazers, or concerts.
The Trailblazers are pushing for public funding to overhaul the 30-year-old building, describing it as essential for the team's long-term future in the city. Governor Tina Kotek signed a bill last month that delivers $365 million to the project, conditional on the team signing a 20-year lease and the city and county contributing the remaining cost. The money from the state coming through bonds to be paid off by current and future income taxes paid by the Trailblazers. So resident Neil Buddy feels like it's now or never to get the arena renovated.
Without the Trailblazers, we lose the money to renovate the Moda Center, right? Because it's being paid from their taxes, and then concerts stop coming. We start to then have to pay out of our own pockets, and I'm trying to avoid having any taxes, that any bonds where our actual income taxes start happening.
I think it's hugely important that tax revenue be part of the conversation for how we pay for this. There's a lot of different sources of money we're going to have to look at, but if we lose that as an option, we're going to have a lot harder time figuring out how to close the gap.
A handful of city councilors also at McCoy Park Saturday as part of these pop-ups.
I've been hearing people who are workers at Moda who talk about the potential expansion of their job or loss of job. And then there's folks who don't want to spend public dollars at all. And then there's a lot of I'm open to the conversation, but don't spend PSEF dollars on things that the voters didn't approve.
And if you missed it on Saturday, 4 more of these tents will be up on Sunday at different parks, a full list of which you can find linked on our website, kgw.com. Back to you.
All right, thank you to our Jay Coulter for that report. To an update now in that deadly shooting in Portland's Portsmouth neighborhood. Police now saying they have a suspect in custody. Pharaoh Hart Williams faces a second-degree murder charge for allegedly killing this man, Tyrone Butler. On Thursday, police say Butler was found injured on the sidewalk at North Fessenden Street and North Haven Avenue. First responders rushed him to the hospital where he later died. The medical examiner later determining his cause of death as a homicide by gunshot wound. Hart Williams has now been booked into the Multnomah County Detention Center. To a rescue in Clackamas County where a car crashed about 30 feet down an embankment. Rescue crews from Tualatin Valley Fire as well as the technical rescue team in Tigard were able to pull the driver to safety with the help of a system of ropes and a basket. The patient was life-flighted to a trauma center. No word on their condition at this time. Well, for the first time in 32 years, the FIFA World Cup is back on U.S. soil. And one of the 48 nations competing in the tournament is based right here in Portland. Orlando Sanchez has more from the University of Portland, where the Jordan men's national team is preparing for its first ever World Cup appearance.
Soccer City, USA may not be hosting games in this year's World Cup, but it is hosting a team right here at the University of Portland.
The whole world's literally watching the World Cup. Everyone's watching, and for us to be part of that and to host is wonderful.
For the next couple of weeks,
it's surreal. It's like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
The Jordan men's national team is based in PDX.
We were real excited. We just got back from Jordan.
World Cup training on Merlot Field.
This is one of the best grass venues in the Northwest, if not the best.
Years in the making.
We got a cold call from FIFA in 2022 asking if we would think about being part of the World Cup.
About a dozen different nations visited Portland. From facilities, proximity to stadiums, and a partnership with the Nines Hotel, this was a win-win situation.
It's a no-brainer for FIFA to be here, and it's a no-brainer for us to host because we want to be in the mix.
When something is good for the university, it's good for the city. When it's good for the city, it's good for the university. And we like to call ourselves the University of, for, and with Portland and the world. So it's really important that we could do this.
Portland was awarded Jordan, and this isn't the first time UP has hosted international teams.
We've had Bayern Munich, Inter Milan, Paris Saint-Germain. We've had the Brazilian women's national team. So it's nice to know that when people are in town, we're the first ones they call.
Thousands of miles away, from the Middle East to the Pacific Northwest, It's a treat for Oregonians, especially for those with ties to Jordan.
Oh, a lot of pride, especially with everything that's going on right now in the world. Like just the pride and then having them here and being able to make them feel welcome here is great. I'm sure they were a little nervous coming over here as well.
This is Jordan's first ever World Cup appearance. They'll open group play Tuesday against Austria in Santa Clara, California, returning back to the Rose City between matches. Orlando Sanchez, KGW Sports.